All right, welcome back to the Malapert Smark podcast. I got Elora here. Malapert Smark, Hall of Famer. She's all up my butt. She's not letting me hold still, so I figure I let her come on camera. But yeah, this is episode 112 of the Malapert Smark podcast. We're going to go through this past week of wrestling. It was a lot of wrestling, a lot of shows, 2 big WWE and AEW pay-per-views, so we probably not going to go as in-depth as we usually do, but nonetheless, we're going to give it a shot to cover most of it, and for that, I got the wrestling expert here. Vlad, what's up?
What is up? So, a lot of wrestling. I didn't watch it all, that's for sure.
But Double or Nothing is probably still going on right now as we speak. Honestly, I was following it up till a few minutes ago, and now I don't know what's happening.
I think it's over. I read the results. It seemed like it was the end of the show. So It looks like it ended about 9:30ish. So just a 4.5 hour show.
Plus a pre-show.
Plus a pre-show. So we're talking about 5.5 hours then, right? I mean, I didn't watch a second of it, but good God, man.
They are burning people out on wrestling, but we will talk about that later when we get to the AEW stuff. Also, you might have heard, for the listeners out there, Robert, the Frozen Asian, is back with us.
Hell yeah.
He couldn't be here last week, scheduling conflict, so we're happy to have you back, Robert. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I don't know if you noticed, but you were still on the show.
Oh, no, I saw that. The big absent word on it.
Wait, wow. Robert wasn't on the show last week? I didn't know. I didn't notice.
He was literally a Frozen Asian.
I was really that actual Frozen Asian last week.
Well, we're up to 214 YouTube subscribers. We shot up a little bit. We already got up to 200 for like the past week or something like that. I forgot exactly when, but that's a good sign. I guess some people like us enough to hit subscribe and think, hey, we might want to hear these guys again. Although most of the comments we get are negative comments telling us that we suck, that we're terrible, that they can't see the videos on the screen, that it's too small. And I'm like, well, zoom in, man. Come on. You don't know how to zoom in on a YouTube video. You could fucking make it bigger when we watch them small. I had to put the video small in the corner because of copyright stuff. If I put it big, it's just going to get taken down. And we're not supposed to be showing it really anyways, so it's really nice that we even get to show that little TV in the corner that we have. I think it looks pretty cool, but some people say it sucks, they can't see it. I'm like, well, that's the best we could do. Switch to 1080p and zoom it for you YouTube watchers out there. For the audio podcast listeners, we'll try to describe as best as we can. But also, this is not what we do, guys. That we're not like content creators or podcasters. We all have fucking lives. We all have jobs. We do our best with this, but we're not really focusing on this. Like our focus
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7 is not on this podcast, man. We live our lives, we watch the wrestling, and then we just come on here and give our commentary. It's fucking free. You don't have to pay for it. We don't even have commercials on our videos at all. We don't fucking bother you with, like, how would you complain, man? I don't know. I don't get it. But okay, we get some negative comments. Did you guys didn't read this one comment on that Outsiders versus Harlem Heat video I put up from Halloween Havoc? This guy comments. I'll put a picture of it up. It goes, his name is Warrior Zol 13, not Soul, Zol with a Z. And he has no picture, but his name is Adam Meredith. And he's got no subscribers on his channel. But anyway, so he says, your voice sucks, your commentary sucks, your accent sucks, everything about this sucks, you suck.
You have an accent?
I have never noticed. Who has an accent?
I don't know. He's just saying your. So he says, suck down, vote down, vote down, vote down, vote. Go to hell, clowns, scammer, wannabe content creators, you suck so hard. What a bunch of shit. Get a life, get a point of view.
What in the world?
Well, welcome to the internet.
Yeah, goddamn, man. I mean, shit. The way he criticized too, it wasn't just like you guys need to improve or you guys aren't. He really made it like he wanted to fight with us. Like if somebody talked to you like this in reality, that's like he's confrontational. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's like we insulted his family or something, or we did something. What is his problem? He's acting crazy for no reason. We're just trying to have a good time, talk about wrestling. He's going crazy, calling us all kinds of names. Well, like Robert said, it is the internet. Yeah.
Welcome to the internet. Yeah, well, I always respond with, hey, that's why you have no picture up and you're just trolling anonymously. It's kind of like a cowardly thing to do, but whatever. But look, maybe he has a point. Maybe some days I show up on here and I'm tired. I could barely fucking think. You know, I'm not... I wish I was better. I do think I can improve, you know?
Dude, I wouldn't even entertain that.
No, I'm not entertaining that guy. I'm just saying, like, look, I could be better. When I describe the wrestling scenes, like, that's my job here to, like, because this is an audio podcast. When something happens on the screen, I have to describe it for the audience. And I don't know the names of all the moves, you know? I'm not even as good as Excalibur, and I criticize Excalibur a lot. But this is, like I said, this is not my job. If my job was to do this and focus on this 24/7, if I was Excalibur, I would try to become proficient at it to the point where I would study it a lot until I was like, you know, smooth, like Jim Cornette. So that's why we criticize these guys. But yeah, we're here. We're just for fun. But thank you for listening, anyone who's listening. That was our intro diatribe. But we're going to get into the last week of wrestling. We're going to start at May 20th, Raw, and go all the way up till today that we're recording. We're recording this on a Sunday, so Double or Nothing is happening. Just happened. It literally just finished. We didn't watch it. We couldn't. We didn't get a chance. I was at work. I kind of followed it, but we'll cover some of it at the end.
Who's going to watch 5.5 hours of wrestling, dude? It's just insane.
It's more than 5.5. If you really wanted to watch Dynamite and Collision and Rampage and Double or Nothing, like, dude, they're really oversaturating the market.
And I know someone's going to say,
it's not interesting.
Sorry, I was real quick. I know someone's going to say, well, WWE has a 2-night WrestleMania thing. But that's WrestleMania, dude. That's WrestleMania.
But that's not a good idea either, though, to be honest. But
okay. I agree. But that's WrestleMania. What is this? Double or Nothing? I mean,
Double or Nothing.
It's some random pay-per-view that they've done that no one really cares about, and this card was really weak to begin with. So no, they should not have a 4.5, 5 hour.
SummerSlam is gonna be 2 nights.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that later, but we might as well mention it now. No, that's okay. I mean, look, I don't like that idea either. That's a horrible idea. Again, fuck, man. Well, not like I'm gonna care. I'm not taking days off for fucking SummerSlam. But okay.
And it's weird. SummerSlam, they're going to SummerSlam and they're going into Minnesota. I don't know, man. I don't understand that at all. Like, why are they? What kind of agreement did they sign? I mean, I guess it's got to be all about the money, because that makes no sense. Two nights in Minnesota. Who the hell wants to even have one night in Minnesota? Let alone 2 nights.
I don't know. Ask Charles Barkley.
Right, exactly. No, I was just gonna say, look, it's nothing. It's just like it's not really a summer place, right? Like Minnesota, you don't really think of it. Usually, they go to like the warmer places, you know, Florida, somewhere in Florida, some LA, Miami. It's like the Super Bowl, right? Like you want it in a warm place. You don't want it in Minnesota. Anyways, that's my little thing. We can go back to actually start talking about the wrestling.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna focus mostly on this show on WWE. We're gonna go gloss over AEW at the end, but so let's start. I have 7 topics total from the past week. If there was any more than that, I am going to omit it. You guys could bring it up if you remember anything that I missed. But
I'll have to remember it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with the Intercontinental Triple Threat match for the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view or premium live event, I'm sorry, at in Saudi Arabia. So this is from Monday night. Sami Zayn came out to open the show, and he welcomed everyone to Raw. There's our TV over there. Zoom in. all you people who want to watch the TV. Like, literally, it's easy. You just go like this on your phone and zoom in.
From King
Sheesh.
live.
But anyways, so this is the last night of setup for King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring for the Raw folks, for the people on Raw. So Sammy came out to introduce the show, and Chad Gable came out to contest the fact that he told the people that he was manipulative, you know, told them that he helped them win, helped them beat Gunther. That is true. You know, he trained them, kept them focused, helped them win that Intercontinental title. But anyways, they were scheduled for a match tonight, which was pretty good. I'm not going to go over this match. I like this match, but we have a lot to go over tonight with all the other shows. So this match I'm not really going to gloss over. But for the storyline, there was some moments where his Alpha Academy teammates could have helped him. Like right there, Maxine Dupree didn't slap Sami Zayn when the referee wasn't looking. And again, Tozawa, same thing, had a chance. I thought this was good storytelling, you know? It's non-wrestling. It was a little non-wrestling angle that they're throwing in here. So he gets mad at them too and tells them to leave. He's like, screw you guys, let's get out of here. And again, Otis, same thing. The third guy in his group had a chance to knock out Sami Zayn. And he actually hesitated, and Gable got mad at him, but he ended up doing it in the end. So on Raw, when he had a chance, he finally helped them and smacked Sami Zayn when the referee's back was turned, and that led to a Chad Gable victory. So, well, that move right there, what is that called? Is that called the Chaos? The Chaos Theory or something?
Theory.
Hold on.
What is it called? Oh my God.
Hold on. Let me hear the commentator say it. Yeah, the Chaos Theory.
That is such a phenomenal move.
Where he rolls, he rolls him up and then suplexes him out of thin air. Chad Gable, some of the things like when he's yelling at his boys, his Alpha Academy boys, I feel like it's a little fake. He could work on his acting a little bit, but his wrestling is like so good. So
top notch. Oh yeah, top notch.
Absolutely,
top notch.
So, oh man, this is an aside over here. When they were interviewing after the match, man, talk about bad AEW type scene. Remember this one, Vlad? This LWO attack in the back?
But it happened. Why is somebody's always getting beat up in this LWO group? Once every show.
I hate when they do stuff like this in the back, and they make it seem like it's a big deal, and it's all chaotic and everything. And the comment, I don't know who this girl is backstage, but this reporter.
Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond.
Altercation backstage. In what is now a developing story here on Monday Night Raw. I'll work to provide further details if I can. Cole, Pat, it's chaos back here.
It's chaos. It's chaos. Oh my God, it's such chaos. Well, whatever. Look, I'm not gonna talk about the LWO anymore in the rest of the show. This is the only mention they'll get. But God. All right, I'm gonna continue. I'm sorry to bring that aside up, but I just had to mention because we've been praising WWE a lot, but I'll give them one Malapert Smark moment of a bad scene where I'm like, what the fuck was that? But okay, let's move on to King and Queen of the Ring, which was yesterday on Saturday the 25th, and this is the Intercontinental Triple Threat. There's Chad Gable. He only wants to come out with Otis because Maxine has not been coming through for him. So he sent her away during the ring walk entrance. Here's Chad Gable, and he's facing off against... Oh, they have a plan.
Oh, and the crowd is chanting "You suck." And like,
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I didn't write that down, Robert, but I had meant to mention that. That's kind of cool. It's not original, but it's nice to... Kurt Angle's memory lives on in some way.
Yeah.
But okay, so he was telling Otis, stick to the plan, and we're going to win my Intercontinental title. Here comes Big Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn wearing Arabic attire. Very fan favorite when they have these shows over there in Saudi Arabia, because I guess he's Middle Eastern. So he comes out in like, you know, the Middle Eastern garb and everything. But I don't know, everyone I see in the audience, look, no one here is wearing Middle Eastern clothes. They're all wearing t-shirts. Like, why is Sami Zayn dressing up like a Middle Eastern guy from 100 years ago? But I don't know. Okay, I don't know the culture. Maybe people still dress like that. I don't know.
Well, some of the people were dressed kind of more traditional, I guess, when you think of people in Saudi Arabia or Arabic or whatnot. But yes, I'm assuming some of the younger generation, the kids are not, or the younger
right there.
people are not
there like I see one person there.
Yeah, one guy out of like 50 guys.
Well, if you look at the front row,
the front row
over here, there were a lot of people dressed in that type of outfit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know anything about the culture, but it seems some of them dress a little Western, some of them still dress a little to their own culture originally. I don't know. I don't really care to look that up, but let's move on with this match. Let's see some of the highlights. Blue Thunder Bomb on Big Bronson Reed. That was a highlight of the night. Bronson Reed with the tope suicida. And what was this? A double suplex from Chad Gable onto both of them, which...
Yeah, I don't like those. That move I don't like. It's, you talk about ridiculous AEW style. That's an AEW style move.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the first moment where Otis has a chance to help Gable, and he's props up Sammy. Sammy's telling him not to do it because he's been trying to convince Otis not to. And Gable's like, shut up, Sammy, do it. Which was pretty funny. Anyways, this is going to end with him getting smacked, I think. Slap. Gable slaps him, and then when he props up Sammy again, Sammy gets out of the way, and Otis clotheslines Gable, and that leads to Sammy getting in the ring with a worn-down Bronson Reed, and he's going to haluva kick him and win the match. So that's my summary of the past week for this feud. Let's get some thoughts from you guys. Any thoughts about how did you like this feud, and anything about Gable or Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed that you want to say? Vlad, let's start with Vlad.
Yeah, loved the Raw segment that led up to this. Big fan of the feud. I've enjoyed Chad Gable in this role. I've liked the addition of Otis kind of being conflicted of what he should be doing. Should he really go to the dark side or not, type of thing. I mean, this is a decent use of Otis, who's always been treated as a comedy character, and he still has that face of a comedy character. Obviously, you can't look like that and not be funny, right? But overall, the match was pretty good, even though it was a triple threat, and triple threats are a little screwy. It was a good match. Chad Gable is a fantastic worker. Sammy's fantastic. Big Bronson Reed, I like as well. So I like all three guys here, and this was a good match. Did the right person win? I guess for the crowd, if they wanted to. Plus, Sammy,
exactly.
Plus, Sammy just won the. Plus, Sammy just won the belt at WrestleMania. I mean, I don't think they want to just get it off him yet, but I think in time, fairly soon, Chad Gable will be the Intercontinental Champion. Maybe by SummerSlam.
All right, so this was a win for Vlad, this feud. All right, a plus.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, so when you showed the Raw clip, that was my first time seeing it. As I mentioned to you before we started recording, I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. I only watched the pay-per-view, but from what I've seen before, and from the clip that you showed, the feud leading up to this match was cool. I did enjoy it, and this match was good as well. So I pretty much echo the same thoughts as Vlad. And I did also think the result was predictable, given where this PLE was taking place, right? Yeah. I didn't think there was any chance of Sami Zayn losing the title here, but at some point they're gonna put it on Chad Gable. He's too good for for that title to not be put on him at some point in the near future.
Yeah, and the storyline is pretty good too. Mm-hmm. All right, well,
he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Great job, but yeah.
All right, well, I got nothing to add. I'm going to go back to Monday Night Raw for our next topic. Our next topic is Bron Breakker. So his segment was that he came out for a squash match against, what's this guy's name? Let me see. Kale Dixon, who comes out, looking pretty focused. It doesn't look like a schlub or anything. He's in shape.
No.
And so Bron Breakker, I guess he's in the corner and he's trying to convince himself not to murder this guy, is what I gather. And he can't really control himself and he just does it anyway. So the match immediately starts with a spear. Look at this guy, good selling with his hand convulsing a little bit. I really like this guy, whoever he is. But anyways, another violent spear, Goldberg type of spear. This guy's really putting Bron Breakker over here. Selling to the moon. But how else well, the referee stops the match. He's like, no, this guy's freaking dead. He can't get up. Bron Breakker doesn't listen, spears him again. And what else? He breaks his head on the staircase.
With the
steel steps with the chair. Yeah, this was like crazy. This is a long segment, Robert, but I'm skipping around. And then Adam Pearce comes out and Bron Breakker's like, this is on you. And Adam Pearce's like, on me? How the fuck is this on me? Well, it's because he didn't get put in the King of the Ring, right? That's why.
Yeah, whatever happened to their meeting?
They never showed the result of the meeting. Like what?
Oh, the result of they talked again last week, the week before, and he explained to him why, like, he thought he wasn't ready for it, and he had something planned for him, but Bron Breakker disagreed, and because of this, he's showing everybody what he's got. So. This was a pretty crazy segment. Oh, well, let me continue it. Let me show you what happened next. So during the commercial break, they had to take this poor guy to the hospital. And at least this didn't look so phony. But I don't understand why Adam Pearce has to go with this guy and escort him to the ambulance. Like, who is this guy? He's not a Raw superstar. He's not on the Raw roster. He's just a guy invited by Adam Pearce, I guess.
Well, if there's a major injury, there should be, like, and somebody gets attacked like that, you want, like, the guy in charge to kind of,
So, yeah, this is where he tells him, look, this is why.
You didn't put me in King of the Ring. That's on you.
He didn't put me in King of the Ring. So Bron Breakker thought he was going to win King of the Ring. He would have won that whole shit. But anyways, all right, Vlad. I'll start with Robert this time. You didn't see the segment, but I pretty much summarized it for you.
Right. This is my first time seeing this, so it took me by surprise. Sure, he explained why, but that was still very heel-ish of him to do. I don't know. I'm a little shocked by that, but we'll see how this develops. I didn't expect him to do something like this.
But that was pretty good, though. No, just the whole execution
cool,
of it, I think, was pretty good.
It was executed just fine, but it just still a bit shocking. It wasn't something I would expect from him, at least not this early into his main roster career.
All right. Well, I was a big fan of this segment, Vlad. I don't know if there's any negatives to this that you could think of.
No, this was fantastic. I loved it, every second of it. This was the first hour of Raw was one of my favorites in a long time. This was great. This was so good. I mean, the way he. I guess they could have done it with someone that was at least we knew, maybe. But I guess this works a little bit better. In the sense of, like, okay, nobody's getting completely buried. In the sense of, like, okay, at least no one of it with a name is getting completely buried. But to build up the character of Bron Breakker, to say, like, oh, this guy is, like, unhinged and he's crazy and he's a Steiner. Even though not you going with a Steiner name, it works quite well. And obviously, he's a dude. The way he runs the ropes is something I haven't seen anyone run the ropes like that fast before. And the speed, and those spears are legitimately crazy. I mean, they look like the fact that I don't know if he was, I mean, obviously he was selling, but man, those look like they hurt for real. So, I mean,
that was his job. To take that punishment that day. He was the definition of a jobber. But yeah, he did good.
He did very well. And,
but what about him being a heel, I guess? Last question, because Robert said this makes him a heel, I guess. I don't know. It's fine.
I mean, wasn't he kind of a heel in NXT too? I thought he was.
He's pretty much starting fresh here. No one really
towards the end of his NXT run, he was. For sure.
Right. I think he's probably better as a heel. I mean, he's a monster guy, monster heel. It would work better that way. I don't know. He probably could. I have to see more of his work as a face before I can comment that maybe the heel is the right role for him 100%. But just based on the look of him, it all seems like he should be a heel.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. I'm gonna move on to the next topic. I'm sticking to Raw, so I'm on Raw from May 20th, and I'm gonna go to the Queen of the Ring stuff. So on this night, they had the Raw finals, the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. It was Lyra Valkyria, the Irish lass, against did she face? Io Sky. Okay. I guess Lyra's big move is she does this thing where she jumps through the ropes and kicks you. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I've noticed her doing that multiple times since she's brand new. What was this? This interesting submission move. She's got her twisted up like a pretzel. But the winner of this match ended up being Lyra Valkyria. So she goes to the finals and she's going to face the winner. She stacked her up there. Io Sky tried to roll her up, but she stacked her up. Kind of countered it. Didn't really lock it in tight, but Io Sky still lost. Io Sky pissed off at the loss. But what is she going to do? Anyways, so Lyra's facing off against the winner of Bianca and Nia Jax from SmackDown on Friday. So, unless you guys have any comments, I'm going to move on to SmackDown.
Just real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure.
I was just say real quick that I thought this was a good match. I was pleasantly surprised. Not that I don't think these. I mean, I don't know enough about what the hell's her name? Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, obviously Io Sky. I do know a bit. Outside of the fact that she can't speak a word of English, she is a good wrestler. So this was actually a surprisingly pretty good. It was actually a pay-per-view quality match. I thought they put in a lot of good work here. So that's. I mean, I know I usually never compliment Io Sky or women wrestling that much. I think it deserves a little bit here, as this was a solid match.
Robert?
No, I was just gonna say I didn't watch Raw, but this result this is a big victory because Io Sky was recently the champ until WrestleMania. So for her to have a name against the former champion is that's something that's quite the accomplishment for someone who just came onto the main roster.
Yeah, and she does have a win over Becky Lynch too on NXT. So.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
So those are two big names right there.
No, they're trying to make her look big. When we get to the Queen of the Ring final, I'll tell you how I felt going in, like who I thought was going to win. But before we get to that, Vlad said pay-per-view quality match on Raw, pay-per-view quality match also on SmackDown here with Bianca against Nia Jax, which I was surprised booking to me. I was watching it kind of live at the moment, like thinking Bianca was going to win, but they were showing Bianca was having trouble with her knee, like right there, and then she was going to KOD her, and I was like, holy crap, this was like a Lex Luger moment.
Yeah, this would have been a Lex Luger moment. Lex Luger picking up the Giant.
It might still happen someday. Maybe they're saving it for a big pay-per-view or something. Because it looked like she had her up, like she almost did it. But yeah, and then a slam, and that led to an annihilator, and that was the end of Bianca. I was kind of shocked that was the booking there.
But the knee problem, they had built that from the SmackDown from the week prior.
Yes.
That happened from the previous SmackDown. So it was kind of already like a built-in story.
Yeah. What do you think of them using that as an out, Vlad? Like an injury. There's another one later that happens. I forgot who.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that out with injury. Obviously, I'm not really thrilled with what's going on with this Nia Jax stuff, but because no way should she be.
You think it's an out when someone's injured, gets injured, and then now they can't win because they're injured? I mean, like Jey Uso. It's Jey Uso. The guy I'm thinking of is Jey Uso. He loses to on Raw in the in the semifinal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's an out for them, but I'm just talking about the overall booking and this women's thing. Like, Nia Jax guys, like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Well, she's been pretty good lately. Well, we're gonna get to her match with Lyra Valkyria next, but honestly, since she's come back, since she went on hiatus, I don't think she's done anything really egregious that I've seen. Because people used to say
I agree.
She made botches that were dangerous, you know, and she had a good match with Rhea, and she's been a good, like, 80s type of larger than life character. I think she's been pretty good lately. I don't know. I mean, I think we're just kind of thinking more of how she used to be. But,
I think so too. Her recent run is pretty good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump to.
Okay, fine. I'll wait till this match.
Let's do the Queen of the Ring final. So this is Nia Jax against Lyra Valkyria, who came out with a cool outfit with wings. Ooh.
that actually did look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is the end of the match. Another great match, but I thought the finish here was really good because she was gonna give her a powerbomb off the top rope. Lyra was going to give to Nia Jax, and then she couldn't do it, and then she just got squished. That was perfect. It was such a good finish to this match. And then
agreed.
Nia Jax is the Queen of the Ring. Hold on, let me put that audio a little lower. And Triple H comes out to present the Queen of the Ring crown to Nia Jax. She kneels down and actually lets him put it on. There's a hug. She starts crying. You can see some tears coming out of her eyes. And I liked her promo. I'm going to play like 10 seconds from it.
Save your congratulations, Kayla. I don't need it. I know that none of you are happy for me. But I'm very happy for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to get a lot happier, and you are all going to get a lot angrier. Because I will become the WWE champion and your queen at SummerSlam.
Nice promo. Nice promo. Well, look, going into it, I was looking forward to this match. I watched this with my girlfriend, this pay-per-view, and I was trying to tell her, like, man, I don't know who's going to win this, Lyra or Nia, because Lyra's been pushed very heavy, beat Becky, beat Io Sky. And Nia Jax also, I could see that happening. But I going in, I didn't know. I thought it was going to be Lyra. But I wasn't super surprised that it was Nia. Anyways, any comments from you guys on Nia Jax being Queen of the Ring? Vlad, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you mentioned earlier you're not a fan of this booking. But, man, I don't know. She's been larger than life. I think she's like that promo like she cut.
There's a joke there.
She's larger than life. It's true though. She's an attraction. When she comes out, she's different from all the other girls.
She's Andre the Giant. I see.
She seems intimidating. Just the fact that her move, the Annihilator, is pretty good. Huge. It's a pretty good move. But anyways, okay.
Like
so you would have given it to Lyra then?
Not that I have this
the rookie would have been Queen of the Ring.
Not that I have this overwhelming like for Lyra, but it's just the way I would have booked it is, yes, if you want to kind of get her over, why not give her something like this? Not that this kills her push or anything like that, but Nia Jax, I mean, like, really, what? I don't know this.
Oh, and another interesting thing that they announced.
I'm just not seeing it. Oh, sorry. Yes, go ahead. What did they announce?
Another interesting thing that they announced for this year is that the King and Queen of the Ring are going to get a title shot at SummerSlam.
That was going to be my comment.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And that's why she said. Right. That's why.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that until. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
So, thinking like big picture, right? You know, the whoever wins this would match up against Bayley at SummerSlam. That looking at it from that perspective, and that's to me how this makes sense that Nia Jax won, because she's already been established as a heel. Like she's always the heel in every matchup, and so that's what you would need in a matchup for the title against Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. So that's how I made sense of this result. It would have made sense for it to be Nia instead of Lyra, but at the same time I also do agree that if you are planning to build up Lyra, then she probably should have won. But they can always she has a lot of time, right? So they can still build her up at some point later on down the year, and she can. If they want her to be a champion, she can be a champion later on.
All right. Well, I am fine with it. I think the new Nia Jax, I guess, is a little more careful. So they're not really. She's not getting criticized as much for her work lately. But that's all I got to say about that. Let me move on to the King of the Ring, guys. So that's. I'm gonna move back to Monday since I'm doing the whole last week. So let's cover all the King of the Ring business, the men. So let's go back to May 20th. And the King of the Ring final, here's Gunther. I don't know. I didn't listen to this long promo he did in an empty arena. I don't really care what he said. But I'm going to move on to the match, which started with Jey Uso, another long... these long camera pans that go from the backstage to the ring, they're going to start to get old eventually. They're
already old for me.
Yeah, they don't need to use it on Raw. Maybe they could just do it at the pay-per-views or something. But, Jey Uso's got this cool entrance where the whole crowd is into it, but that seems to be the only cool thing about him these days. Here comes Gunther, the ring general, or the ring general, as he calls himself.
Yes, exactly. Got to say it right, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, but if you guys are watching just the clip here, maybe you didn't hear me mention that, they've been teasing a little Jey Uso injury, and that kind of led to Gunther's win here. But here's the referee going down, the ref bump. How did this end? All right, so the referee, a little bit of a delay in getting there. So this was that one moment where Jay could have said, I could have won. They're really making him look strong here against Gunther. But this is the end. Gunther pretty much just got pissed, pounded on him a little bit, and then choked his ass out. And that's the end of this one. So Gunther's going to go to the final. He's going to face the winner of Tama Tonga and what's his name?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. I'm sorry, spacing out on this Friday on SmackDown. So that's that. Unless you guys have a comment about this match in particular, I'm gonna jump to the SmackDown King of the Ring match. Yeah, I'm just kind of glossing over what happened for people. So on SmackDown, let's see what we got here. May 24th, the night before, and this was in Jeddah, right? So this was like
this was in Jeddah.
This was like a big SmackDown show. I don't know if I've seen that before, because it didn't really make sense that SmackDown would be in America and then somehow they would fly across the world to do SmackDown or to do a Saudi Arabia show on Saturday. But anyway, so this is in Saudi Arabia. Paul Heyman's there with the Bloodline because Tama Tonga's in the Bloodline. He's talking about how they couldn't get Tonga Loa into the country. He's like, Solo, these guys you're recruiting are dangerous. They can't even get fucking paperwork to cross borders and shit. So It's just Solo tonight against to help Tama Tonga against Randy Orton. So here comes Randy Orton. So another big match feel in a big giant arena in Jeddah. Here's Tama Tonga. And how did this match end? This ended with an RKO. Not really much help. Solo Sikoa will just watch Tama Tonga take the pinfall. I don't know what he could have done there. Even if you get DQ'd, it's a tournament. But... So Randy Orton wins, and he's going to face Gunther in a high-profile superstar matchup at the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view for King of the Ring, for the King of the Ring final. So here is him facing off with Gunther one night before, and then there was a post-match beatdown, but Kevin Owens stopped Randy Orton from getting beaten up by Solo, but that didn't really go anywhere, I don't think. It might still go somewhere, but for this week, this Solo and Kevin Owens stuff doesn't really continue. But anyways, if anyone doesn't have comments about Tama Tonga and the Bloodline, Vlad, or any of this Randy Orton stuff.
No, I mean, just real quick. I mean, yeah, it makes sense because, you know, Gunther's the heel, Orton's the face. You can't have two heels in the main event, or, well, not the main event, but on the premium live event. It makes obviously more sense for Randy Orton to go over and have his match with Gunther. And plus, it's a little bit more star-studded. I agree.
All right, so let me jump to the King of the Ring from the final from the King of the Ring. And this is Gunther's entrance. This is Randy Orton's entrance. A face-off before the match. Let's see what highlights I could show from this. There's an RKO. So Randy Orton did hit him with an RKO, but Gunther kicked out of it. Oh, he kicked out, and then he hit him in his injured knee. I thought this was an interesting kick out. You see, he socks him with his right hand, or left hand.
That's very subtle. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
No.
And that led to the 3 count.
I thought because he was already injured, it just hurt that he kicked out. And
I didn't catch that.
I didn't know that he socked him in the knee.
Yeah, he punched him in the knee. After taking an RKO, had the wherewithal to do that. Very impressive. So, Gunther, I thought it was interesting that, you know, I was thinking about it the day before. I was like, if I won the King of the Ring, I wouldn't put that stupid hat on. I would just take it as a trophy. And Gunther didn't put it on. I thought it was kind of cool that he didn't. He's like, dude, this is too goofy. I'll take the crown, but I'm not going to freaking put it on. So, there you go. Gunther is the King of the Ring. We didn't get a picture of him like Bret Hart, though, or with the crown on or anything. So, any comments from you guys for Gunther? I guess it's just praise. He deserves it, basically, right?
Well, the general is now the king.
Robert.
I'm just saying. All right,
That's a great point, Robert.
With all due respect to CM Punk, the label of best in the world, personally, I would probably give to this guy right here.
Wow.
I mean,
interesting.
It's hard to think like who's better than him at this point. So, hey, he deserves it. Even the crowd said it. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. For a guy that never goes to the top rope or never does a tope suicida, Robert says this guy's the best wrestler on the planet. All right, cool.
He is. I completely agree. I've always sang his praises. He's the best in-ring performer in the business today. I don't think it's really even that. I think it could be close, but I don't think it's that close. He's almost perfect. Like, I've never seen a one bad Gunther match. It's always pristine. So I think it's a great choice. Obviously, I think this guy should be pushed as far as you could possibly push him. So maybe at SummerSlam, he finally could win some, I guess, right? He gets the opportunity. But how does he...
Who's he?
Choose which one?
Does he choose which championship? Or
that's the part I wasn't sure. Like, does he choose which?
No, he's on Raw. He has you gotta go with the one from your brand, is what my understanding is. So he's gonna face...
so he has to face Damian Priest.
Or Drew McIntyre.
Or Drew McIntyre, right, my bad.
Man.
Right. No.
Well, who do you think is gonna win that Drew McIntyre Damian Priest match in Clash at the Castle? When they announced it was at Clash at the Castle, I was like, what the fuck? Drew McIntyre is gonna win, man. He's gonna go over.
Well, he didn't go over Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but this is against Damian Priest. But
okay, yeah.
I don't. But also they might want to further that CM Punk. But if CM Punk screws him in Scotland, oh my god,
that's gonna be great. That would.
Yeah, my prediction is that I think. Sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
Man, now that I think about it, since he didn't go over Roman Reigns, would he really lose twice there? Like, I don't know,
no, man. I think Drew's gonna win. Drew's gonna win, and the match with CM Punk and Drew is gonna be for the World Heavyweight title. Come on, man. What is Damian Priest doing here? Get him out of this picture. Like, he won his title. He cashed in. Good for you. Give the title to Drew McIntyre. He deserves it, man. And he deserves to have his moment, because he still hasn't had his moment. He did it in the pandemic, and then at WrestleMania this year, he lost the title right when he won it. So he needs a moment where he needs a moment where the show goes off the air and he's the freaking champion. So with the crowd going crazy.
Yeah, real quick, I agree. But I think I don't know, there's something interesting about somehow Punk
screwing him in Scotland. Yeah, I know that.
I think that would be great for their overall feud. You know.
Oh my god.
I mean, you talk about. Let's not forget that Drew McIntyre still isn't over Bloodline screwing him in his hometown. He's been talking about that for a year. If Punk screws him here, they're gonna have their feud would be so much. I mean, it's already great, but it would even be furthered if that happened. So, kind of rooting for that to happen. For Damien to hold on to the title and somehow Punk getting involved in that thing, I think would be. It would be killer. It would be killer for their overall feud. So
yeah, Damien with the championship though is a little funky. I don't know what's going on there, but okay. I don't think that's gonna. I mean, it could go one of those two ways. That's basically what the two ways it can go. So let's wait and see.
Yeah.
I gotta put a pin on that. Let's move along. I'm gonna move on to the women's world heavyweight title stuff from Monday Night Raw. I'm going back to May 20th, and Liv Morgan is gonna face Becky, but here she runs into Lyra Valkyria, who had just won the semifinal of King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and socked her in the face. But Liv Morgan is just unhinged. She put Rhea Ripley on the shelf. Becky's out here to cut a promo. Liv Morgan comes out. I guess we could listen to her say something.
I'm a little bit confused, Becky, because I don't care about these other women. I barely even care about you.
Wait, hold on.
That you come out
this is the part that I bookmarked.
And say, I break barriers, I break glass ceilings. The fact that that's what you actually think about yourself, I'm actually a little bit embarrassed for you right now, because you are the most selfish person in this entire company. Yeah.
The most selfish person in the entire company.
She doesn't care about you guys. She doesn't care about this
I don't know about
place.
that, but okay.
Well, anyways, this was their final talk on Raw before they had a women's world title match. I was going to say world heavyweight title match, but women's world title match. Anyways, Robert, you didn't see this, but this was their last kind of showdown before their match, and I'm going to skip to their match. So Liv and Becky opened the show, actually, the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. So this was the first thing. There's Becky coming out. They both had long sleeves on because they're in Saudi Arabia. I guess I don't know, for some reason the women have an exception where they can show their hair but not their arms and legs, but I don't really understand it. Liv Morgan's out there with her Britney Spears outfit, I think, but how did this match end? Oh, this match ended with Dominik Mysterio getting involved because he vowed that Liv Morgan wasn't going to walk out with the women's world title because he's mad at her for putting out his mommy, injuring her, putting her on the shelf. And he's going to try to help Becky here. And slide her a steel chair, even though he's hurt only with one arm. And I don't know what happened to Becky here. Instead of picking it up, she kind of real slow there. Got DDT'd face first on the steel chair. And Dominik is trying to distract for Becky, but it ended up backfiring, and he ends up costing Becky the match. So Liv Morgan is the new women's champion, women's world champion. The bigger women's championship, in my opinion, from what I gather. And Dominik is disgusted with himself, and Liv Morgan walks out with the Women's World Championship. All right, well, surprising booking, I guess. Robert?
Yeah.
No.
No.
So I kind of saw this coming. I don't know. This looks like this is building up to Dominik turning on Mommy at some point.
Yeah. What? He's gonna turn on her? Why?
Yes, he's gonna take Liv's side, or I don't know if they already are, and he's just like acting like he's not. But at some point, if it hasn't
Where did you
happened
get
yet,
this?
it will.
Did I miss something on the show that like is hinting this to you? I didn't see this at all.
I don't know. Maybe I've seen too many of these things. Maybe I have a feeling I've seen these things happen too many times where it's just like, okay, I think I already know what's coming. It'll happen eventually.
Dominik turning on Rhea. I would think it would be the other way around, with Rhea turning on Dominik and just beating the crap out of him. I guess. Vlad, any comments either way on the potential of that, and also Liv Morgan becoming women's world champion here?
But yeah, I'm kind of with Robert. I think I could see that. I think that's the direction that they're kind of. I don't know if that means that he's working with Liv, Dominik. I'm talking about working with Liv already, or specifically that's who he's working with. But yeah, I just sense something is going to happen with where they break up Rhea and him, and yeah, I think it's going to come from like when she's able to return, or something's going to happen in that regard. Liv Morgan, I don't want to like criticize her any more than I've already criticized her. I'm not a huge fan. I don't.
Yeah, but this was a decent
her
match.
It was okay. I mean, it was an interesting ending. It was an interesting ending where there was involvement and stuff that made you think about I'm actually more interested in the stuff with Dominik and Rhea potentially than whoever won this match, to be honest. So that's whoever won it's kind of insignificant for me.
Well, she is the women's world champion. That is not insignificant. But anyways, if no one has anything else to say, where do I got to move on to next? My next topic is going to be Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. So let me jump to SmackDown from the 24th. And let's see something that happened with Logan Paul and Cody. Well, they had that contract signing the week before. So they had one more kind of talk, I guess. This was in Jeddah again, the night before their match. They had one last face-off, in-ring face. I thought this was unnecessary. I'm not even going to really discuss this segment. I'm just saying that it happened. I don't know why the referee had to come in and check them to see if they were hiding any weapons. I don't know. I didn't get I didn't get all of this, but okay.
Brass knuckles, I think.
Obviously, he had brass, but there's no match here. Why are they looking through their pockets? But okay. So they did find brass knucks in Logan Paul's pants. Cody basically tells him, man, the summary of the general summary of this feud that I could gather is that Cody basically put Logan Paul down as a wrestler. He didn't put him down as a wrestler, but he's like, you know what, you're just not in my league. Which I guess is true, but I'll make some more comments about the overall feud and how I feel about it after I go over their match. But let's jump to the premium live event now, to Saturday night. This is the next night after this at the King and Queen of the Ring. So this is the main event. It's for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And it's at the United States Champion. Robert, you weren't here last week, but for a minute we were talking about how in the contract signing we thought it was going to be a unification match for the U.S. title and the WWE Undisputed title, but Logan Paul took that off the table. So it was just a WWE title match. But it was interesting to see, I think, if Cody was a good enough worker that he could make it seem, at least for a moment, to the fans that Logan Paul could actually win this. That would have been an accomplishment to me. If he just made it seem like, hey, the fans could think, whoa, can this actually happen? That is what I was looking for, because we all knew he wasn't going to win the title. He wasn't going to lose the title. So anyways, here's Cody. Here's the WWE title. Let's see some highlights from this. So there's some Logan Paul goon in the crowd who pushed Cody. Kind of distracts him a little bit for the other goon to pass Logan Paul the brass knucks, and that's going to lead to like him using the brass knucks on Cody for a stomach shot, I guess, as Cody runs up to him and jumps off the steel steps. And the referee was not looking, so he got a free shot in, an early shot. Oh, this was weird to me, why Logan Paul... Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped forward a little bit. But why was Logan Paul getting into it with Michael Cole here? I thought there might have been something I missed from like a podcast or something where these guys had an argument. Like, why was he cared so much? Like, dude, you're in a WWE title match. Like, focus on your match, which I thought was a little funky. If he had any chance to win this, if you're going to look at this realistically, he had to focus on the match. Vlad, were you saying something?
No, I had the same thought, like, why is Michael Cole, what is happening? But okay, yes, continue.
So that distraction let Cody get back into the match, and let's see, here's some punches that I thought Logan Paul was better at selling in this match than Cody, because there were some moments where Cody kind of wasn't selling for Logan's punches, but Logan definitely sold for Cody's punches. And here's him selling the figure four, yelling out, "You're gonna break my leg." Pretty good acting from Logan Paul there. Here's a Cody cutter onto the announce desk, which I thought was the stupidest move ever. Just broke his ass and his tailbone. Here's Logan Paul with a frog splash onto the announce table, which was really cool. That looks really good.
Especially from that angle.
Yeah, really from that angle, that looked good. Here's a frog splash again, which he thought was going to end the match, and he does that surprised look on his face. I'm like, are you really surprised you didn't win with the frog splash? Come on, get out of here. Okay, here's an almost ref bump that leads into the actual ref bump. Is that his finisher? A frog splash? Okay.
I thought it was his finisher. I could be wrong.
Anyways,
well, it's that or like the brass knucks.
Yeah, no, the brass knucks is like his finisher. But this is the first moment where Cody was going to win, but the referee's down. So this might make people think, you know what? Could this be going the other way? Because he didn't get the pinfall there. But, oh, excuse me. Here's a low blow. So here's another moment. Can they really make the people believe? Got the brass knucks. And, oh, this celebrity from Saudi Arabia ended up getting involved and saving Cody Rhodes, or else Cody would have lost the title to Logan Paul. So Cody stopped the punch with the brass knucks and really just puts him away pretty nasty here. And Cody looked dominant, I gotta say. He threw his weight around in terms of being the top guy in the wrestling community. I guess he talked down to Logan Paul. I think he made Logan Paul look pretty good, but he could have made him look better, I think. I don't know. That's all I'll say. I don't want to criticize. I wouldn't give it an A. I'll give this match a B. But Cody is still the undisputed WWE champion. All right, let's get some thoughts from everybody. Let's get with Vlad first. Any comments?
Yeah, I agree that it wasn't a perfect match. There was some stuff I didn't like that interference from some guy from Saudi Arabia that I had no idea what that was. Some stuff on the floor that they were doing, not a huge fan. You know, like you said, that move where he did the, what is it called? Where he jumps and does like the, not the RKO, God, what is it? The cross?
The Cody cutter. The Cody
cutter.
Yeah.
I think he should cut the Cody cutter out of his arsenal, to be honest. I just don't like that move, period. But
well, especially if you're going to do it on the outside table.
Yeah, why would you want to fall on the floor outside? Yeah, exactly.
Looks like it hurt you. It hurt him more than it did, Logan Paul. Logan Paul is tremendous. I have to be honest with you. I know he's easy to hate, and I don't know anything about what he does on this podcast.
He's pretty good.
But man, he is phenomenal. He catches on so quick, and he just gets what it's all about.
I love how he sells for everything. He sells for everything. Everything registers with him. He doesn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't oversell, and he doesn't oversell. It's just a perfect selling, I think. Too, it's very believable selling. So I'm a big fan of his work. I think this was a pretty good match. There's some issues with it. It wasn't a perfect match, but there was a lot of the shenanigans that you sometimes get in a Logan Paul match, which it could be hit or miss. But overall, I mean, I thought they did a good job, and yeah, we all knew the result. We all knew who was going to win it then. That's all.
Yeah, but I thought it was entertaining. Even though we knew the result from the very beginning, I thought it was entertaining. Robert, were you entertained?
Yes, I was entertained. This was a pretty good match. Not an awesome match. Not like the Cody Rhodes AJ Styles match, but this was still good. And yes, and Logan Paul continues to deliver. If I wasn't someone that really followed wrestling regularly, and you were to tell me that Logan Paul is a veteran in wrestling, I would have believed it. Like there's nothing that I see in his performances that would tell me otherwise, that that he's actually a rookie and he's only been doing this for a couple of years. He looks awesome for someone that's only been around for a couple of years. And the result was predictable, but still entertaining. And I also didn't like that the interference from this guy, because it looked like Cody Rhodes needed help to win. That doesn't really help him, right? It doesn't help him look strong. But but overall, I enjoyed this.
All right, cool. We're pretty much done with my WWE talk for the week, but there's one segment I want to play from SmackDown from Friday the 24th. Something that didn't get into the pay-per-view. But to me, it was my favorite segment of the week in wrestling. And I'm just going to play the whole... I'm going to play the whole... The segment that tugged at my heartstrings the most. I'm just going to play the whole segment.
Okay.
Yes. The AJ stuff, yeah.
Hey, Nick, not going to take up a lot of your time. I know I haven't been the easiest to deal with these past couple months. But you saw what happened in Old France. Cody and we tore the house down. It was unbelievable. And I was 1 second away from beating him. I was 1 second away from beating Randy Orton, the King of the Ring match. So what I'm asking before I make any rash decisions, give me one more chance. Give me one more chance. Whoever comes out on top between Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes to be the undisputed WWE champion. Just need one more chance. Nick, I need this. Please.
AJ, I know you want to be WWE champion. And you know how much respect I have for you. If you were asking me personally, 100% yes, every day of the week. Professionally, I can't give you what you want. That chance you're asking for, that has to be earned.
This is
and
so
that takes
good.
time.
This is a perfect scene. This is a 5-star scene.
Nick, you know I don't have time.
Oh my god. That's heavy.
AJ, that's not something I can help you with.
Oh god.
I'm sorry.
You're right. This was fantastic. Thanks for bringing this up.
The other thing about this that was pissing me off, because as soon as I saw AJ walk into the ring with Nick Aldis, AJ Styles' last match in TNA, was against Nick Aldis
That's
for
right.
the TNA title. And they just screwed him over. It was a no DQ match. Dixie made it a no DQ match, and like 7 or 8 guys interfered, and AJ and Sting couldn't overcome. And I was telling, I'm looking at the screen and yelling, and I'm like, you owe him this. You owe him this. You screwed him in 2012. And we all love AJ. Everyone loves AJ. And they're using that here to tug at people's heartstrings. Because, yes, this is so good, too, because you know what? He's right. AJ kind of, at this point, doesn't deserve another title shot, which is tough. It's tough to hear. And so, I don't know. That's all. I just wanted to play this segment and gush over it. I thought it was magnificent.
I thought it was great. I think Nick Aldis, in general, not just this segment, but has done a great job in his role. I think he's been fantastic. And you're right. AJ, one of the best. Tremendous. I guess, obviously, we talked about hinting at his retirement. I mean, they're going towards that again, saying how he doesn't have
I don't have time. You can't work for 4 months and climb back up the card. Come on, AJ. Are you really that old? But yeah, okay. Go ahead, Vlad. I'm sorry.
By the looks of him, he looks like he could wrestle another 10 years easy, right? But he looks like in the best shape of his life.
Right.
But I mean, but maybe, there comes a time where you've probably taken enough bumps, and you kind of don't want to take the bumps because it is a grueling business that they're in.
Yeah, and to stay in top-notch shape like you have to be in WWE, like who wants to go fucking work out like a beast every single morning like this? But I can see him just wanting to retire and just relaxing. So
yeah, because he's taken some amazingly, crazy bumps in his career going back to his TNA days. I think this is a great angle that they got going on. So I'm curious where it all goes. Actually, like what will be AJ's retirement situation? Like will he have a retirement match? I think we discussed that. I think in the segments when it first came up, but I am very interested.
Robert, first time watching that. Any comments?
That was awesome.
I
hope this. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, but I hope this does lead to a rematch because that first match that he had with Cody, that's gonna be easily one in the top 3 matches of the year. I'm pretty sure when
For sure.
when we review like the year at the end of the year. It was awesome. So I'm all for a rematch. For sure.
Oh my God. Well, where can AJ win the title one more time? Maybe the World Heavyweight title. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to move on. That's all I got for WWE this week. Overall, I thought that was a good premium live event. The King and Queen of the Ring. Overall, I might have a little criticism about wrestling overall. Because I was watching it with my girl who doesn't watch wrestling. And I was kind of just pointing out that, you know what, even I think these matches are too long and that these people take a ridiculous amount of punishment. I think they can shorten the matches. If I had my own wrestling company, as an aside, I think I would make my matches a lot shorter. Basically just one big bump. Like if someone got like power bombed on the floor, that's the end of the match, dude. You just got power bombed, But anyways, that's all I got to say. Just a general criticism of wrestling. But sorry, Vlad, go ahead.
Well, maybe for the weekly shows that could be okay, but obviously for a premium live event, you don't want
these matches go on for. Can anyone really take 30 minutes of just haymaker after haymaker and getting thrown here and slammed onto this? I'm like, dude, what difference does it make really that the finishing move compared to like getting RKO'd compared to getting power slammed onto an announce table? Like they both look the same. But one of them is going to end the match, and one of them is nothing. It's just going to continue on for another 20 minutes. I don't know.
That's kind of been the standard that's been set, right? Like, so at this point, kicking out of like one finisher, whenever that happens, it's like people will complain about that because they will feel like that the match was lackluster or whatever.
Whatever. If this is the standard that's been set, it's an unrealistic, stupid standard that these matches go on way too long. But that's my opinion. and I'm sticking to it.
See, I don't know. I would say be careful what you wish for, because if we get nothing but short matches,
we could get Vince Russo type bookings. We could get
basically
some of those. We could get some of those 3-minute Viagra and a pole matches. If you like.
I wouldn't mind that. Honestly, that's my type of wrestling. I don't really want to watch like 20 minutes of people working fake matches. Maybe once if it's like the main event of the show, okay. But like every match doesn't have to be 20 minutes. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to AEW. Speaking of long, boring matches, let's gloss over whatever we can as fast as we can, because they don't deserve a lot of this show, like a big chunk of it. We've done WWE for an hour, so let's try to do less than an hour. But so the pay-per-view was just right now, Double or Nothing, as we're recording. It just happened. So I don't really have many clips from it. I might have some clips from it. But I'll tell you what happened on the Dynamite leading up to it real quick. I'm not going over everything, but I will just mention some highlights. As Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong get set to do battle for the international title, they beat him down. They beat down Will Ospreay, left him laying in his own blood. This was Ospreay and Orange Cassidy against the Undisputed Kingdom in a tag match, but this is the post-match beatdown. So they left Ospreay in a pool of his own blood. But moving on. Elite, they banned Darby Allin from the building, but as you'll see later in the show, he shows up anyways as they prepare for Anarchy in the Arena against the Elite faction and the Team AEW who's supporting Tony Khan. But the Bullet Club Gold, they're getting ready to face Death Triangle at the pay-per-view. So for the trios titles. So they introduced that here. Here is the winner of Hook and Shibata was gonna
oh my God!
Keith Lee was gonna face Jericho, but they both submitted him at the same time. You ever seen a double submission move like that, Vlad? So Shibata.
I have no comment.
I'm surprised I've never seen that before. But
no, I'm not surprised. It can only happen in one place.
So the bounty hunter, Keith Lee, gets tapped out here. And since they don't know who won, Shibata and Hook are going to face Chris Jericho because they all wanted a piece of Chris Jericho. That was the storyline here. So that's going to be a three-way match for the FTW title at the pay-per-view. But anyways, Takeshita and Moxley, they're also going to face off. Not for the IWGP New Japan title, but I think it's an eliminator match at the pay-per-view.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure Moxley won that. Although I don't have the result. No, wait, since it's an eliminator match, I don't know. It could have gone either way. But let me move on. Nick Wayne and Swerve finally had their rematch. This was also Nick Wayne's debut match. But a lot more history now, as Swerve has, broken into Nick.
He's had a match before. Guys, this is a debut match. He's had a match.
No, I said this was their Nick Wayne's debut match in AEW was also against Swerve.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
This is a rematch. Yeah, we did a review of that match, Vlad. You reviewed that match. It's on our channel.
No, I know. I thought you were saying this was his debut match. I'm like,
I think the way you said it gave us the wrong.
My bad. I'm trying to go through this quickly. Yeah, but okay. So yeah, this is a rematch of Nick Wayne's debut match in AEW.
Okay, there you go.
But this is a win for Swerve. I'm sorry. It was a 10-minute match. It wasn't a squash, but Swerve won, and that led to a post-match attack from Christian's faction as they get ready to face. Christian gets ready to face Swerve for the World Heavyweight title, and here comes Christian to beat down Swerve, but Swerve is gonna actually thwart this attack. He doesn't get beat down. The show before his big pay-per-view match with Christian, he for once doesn't get fucking annihilated and destroyed and humiliated. So Christian runs away. He runs out of the ring. He did this before. He did this against Edge, where he ran all the way to the parking lot. I'm skipping it a little bit, but they show the whole thing. And he steals a car. And I guess Swerve and Nana knew he was going to do this. He did this against Edge too, and he ran away. But Prince Nana is waiting for him, blocking him off at the parking lot. So there he is right there. So the camera's going to switch over to him, and it's Prince Nana.
Oh.
So this leads to them fighting for the on top of the car. So this actually makes Swerve look pretty good. So this is the first moment where they made Swerve look like a strong champion that can hold his own. But all right.
The first time ever.
Yeah, this is their last meeting, their last before the World Heavyweight title, which I don't really have any footage of. Vlad, while I'm running through Dynamite, can you do us a favor and check out who won that for when we get there? Because we're not going to have any video of it, but I just want to kind of read the results and see who won. But
sure, I'll get it.
DDT, and he was going to get Concerto, I think, on the hood of the car, but Christian ends up running away. Man, gathering up every last bit of energy he had to escape the scene. Where are his boys? Oh my god. Anyways, moving on. I'm just running through Dynamite. Oh, this was an interesting scene where Malachi Black is feuding with Edge as they're going to have a barbed wire steel cage match. And Robert, let's see if you recognize this.
Oh yeah, this happened in didn't this happen in like WWE and WWE? No, WWE. I remember WWE. Or
the Brood.
Yeah.
The Brood, Edge's group with Gangrel and Christian. They used to dump blood on people like this. But that was, Vlad, you gotta admit, that was a good blood dump for gimmicks that kind of fucking screw up sometimes in AEW that don't look good. Like, god damn, that was a lot of fucking liquid.
I thought in WCW they tried to do this one time on.
I think was it Vampiro or something
something like that. But
they had a situation where they were trying to drop something on Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
It
but
totally failed. It totally missed.
Failed. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
But this was during the dying days. That was already during the dying days of WCW. So yeah,
this looked great though. The blood looked great. However they did this looked great, but interesting, Vlad, that you know that. Good wrestling knowledge there. I probably have seen. I definitely have seen that because I've seen all of WCW, but it's all a blur because it happened so fast. WCW was just 5 years of chaos, so like at the end. But anyways, moving on. I'm just trying to summarize AEW Dynamite real quick from Wednesday the 22nd. So I'm on Wednesday the 22nd here. This is last Wednesday. This is Serena Deeb attacking Toni Storm after they had a tag team match against Harley Cameron and Saraya. But Serena Deeb got some shots in on the Women's World Champion. Even hit her with a shoe. Fucking nailed her with a shoe. Put her in a submission move with the steel chair. So this kind of made me think that Serena Deeb wasn't gonna win the match, because she got the best of her here on Dynamite. But anyways, moving on. The end of the show had to do with the Anarchy or the Arena match, and post match, Bryan Danielson had a match against Satnam Singh, which we're not going to talk about. But post
no one should ever talk about.
Yeah, post match, the Elite are going to try to get at Danielson. Vlad, you remember what happens here? They're gonna attack Danielson, but
I do actually.
Darby Allin shows up with a flamethrower.
You missed. You didn't show the part when Tony Khan drove him in.
I missed that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought I bookmarked that, but there it is. Tony Khan drove him in, huh? Interesting. All right, well, good use of Tony Khan there. That wasn't that bad. So Darby Allin comes in with the flamethrower, and Tony Schiavone is freaking out. Like, we have never seen this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, no shit, they've never seen it, because it makes no fucking sense.
Well, that turned the tide, Robert. The flamethrower turned the tide.
Oh yeah.
And they threw Nick Jackson off stage through a table, and that's the end of the show. So, all right. Well, that's all. Wait, hold on. You know what? Couple things I'll mention pre Double or Nothing. On Rampage, there was a Mercedes Moné and Willow post match after Willow and Statlander won a tag match. Mercedes Moné comes out to brawl with them with no shoes. Look, Robert, she's not wearing any shoes. I don't know why she comes out like that, but that didn't make sense to me. But okay, so they have like a pull apart here, and this is the last thing we see for them before their match. Which, anyways, on Collision, Toni Storm was very upset about that post-match beatdown from Serena Deeb. So,
Okay.
just to show that it didn't pass by with no one caring. But, anyways, okay. So Double or Nothing, Sunday, May 26th. Do I have any clips from this? I might have some clips. I was working on gathering some things, but I don't have the whole show like I usually do for you guys, but let's see what I could come up with. This was part of Will Ospreay against Roderick Strong, right? Will Ospreay wins. He wins the international title, despite all kinds of interference. So Ospreay is the international champion. He wins. But what I want to talk about here is Adam Cole coming out to cut a promo. I don't know if you guys saw this. It just happened, so...
No, I didn't see. I heard about it. Thanks.
I'm guessing you didn't see it, but
no,
I did.
I honestly don't know what Adam Cole was talking about. I don't even know why they let him come out to cut a promo at the pay-per-view. At least he can walk. Anyways, here's the scene. Here's the scene everybody's talking about. Video package they're playing, but his music is also playing. But it's MJF. MJF is coming back. So this is how they introduced him, guys, with a video package. And then after this is done, his music is gonna hit, and MJF is back. After he got screwed over by his best friend in a much maligned storyline that pretty much was a dud, was a miss, but
Where's his scarf?
No scarf. He's Triple H now.
Okay.
2002.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good call.
I was not ready.
Well, there he is. He's got Adam Cole in his crosshairs. No one there to help Adam Cole. Where's the Kingdom? Where's Wardlow? Hug it out, man. Remember All In? Hug it out, man. Nice. Cool. Bro chachos. Adam Cole taking a bump.
And he looks great. What a landing on the dome for Cole. Adam Cole had to know.
So MJF proceeds to cut an extremely long promo. It's late at night, guys. I'm sure you don't want to hear the whole thing, but
I do, but maybe later. It is late.
yeah, it's like at least 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not sure. Okay. But there is something from this I do want to play for you. You guys go listen to this on your own, okay? MJF is back. But I do want to show you one thing from this that's just like, oh my God. You guys are going to love this. Here it is.
So in regards to my contract status, as if it wasn't already painfully obvious to you stupid marks, no offense. To quote one of the all-time greats, may he rest in peace, cameraman. Zoom!
Oh my God. He got an AEW tattoo on his ankle. At least it's not on his face. It says bet on yourself with AEW, a chip, like a double or nothing gambling chip in the middle of it. And he's re-signed with AEW, and he's saying bet on yourself because he thinks he could make it happen for himself here. He doesn't need WWE. He doesn't need New Japan to get over. He's going to get himself over here in AEW. He's AEW for life, baby. Oh, my God. Well, Vlad, I know you got to make comments. I know you're shaking your head, and this is disappointing. You got to say something because this is an audio podcast.
No, I understand. I'll say something. MJF is one of my favorites, but it seems like he's drinking the Kool-Aid now, and I don't really understand it because the show has never been worse. And to put a tattoo of AEW on anywhere on your body, knowing that the company might not be in existence the way it's currently going, makes me think that he's also kind of been drinking too much of the Kool-Aid that they've all been drinking.
They could just cover up the AEW letters here, just make it all black. It'll just be like a gambling chip.
That's true.
That says bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself. It's fine that he wants to bet on himself, and I understand that he re-signed with AEW, and I'm not saying he should absolutely have to go to the WWE. That's not what he wants to do, or if he wants to stay in AEW. It's his choice. I'm just saying, what in his mind that he's seen would make him A, want to stay in AEW, and B, get a tattoo of AEW within the last, I don't know, year, even longer? I mean, the show has been horrendous for at least that long. So I don't even know. I'm kind of puzzled by this, and that he's so gung-ho about being Team AEW like that. I'm a little confused by it, I have to be honest. Because I thought he was a smart guy. Now I'm not so sure.
I mean, I have my ideas, but I'll let Robert talk before I go. Any comments, Robert?
Well, I would say that this tattoo is very mid.
Oh yes,
and unnecessary.
It is pretty mid. It's not very. It's not designed like super colorful or anything.
And unnecessary. I mean, like why? If you re-sign with AEW, just say it. You know, you don't have to like make a tattoo of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is a bit
but
much.
Look, I'm glad he's back. I think AEW definitely needed him to come back. So there's that. Well, we'll see how it goes from here. But now I'll be actually looking forward to watching Dynamite more just because of his return. Because it's been hard to watch with him gone. That's for sure. But yeah,
all right.
We'll see. But at some point, I'll watch this promo on my own and.
I mean, basically, all he said that the whole Adam Cole thing, it's made him realize he shouldn't trust anyone, and he's going to be the old MJF again. He's going to be fueled by hatred and all that. And my opinion about him sticking with AEW, I think he man, he's definitely a big fish in a small pond here. He's the top guy. If he goes to WWE, he has to start from scratch. He has to start from the beginning. They might change his name. Maybe not, though. Maybe Triple H is smart enough to realize they shouldn't change his name. But,
Right.
you don't know what's going to happen exactly. Although, with him, I think going to WWE would be betting on yourself. Because if you perform and you produce, they're gonna push you to the top. And he's gonna perform and he's gonna produce. It's like a can't miss.
You would think.
Him staying in AEW is a little bit like, ugh. But we also did mention that he's really young, Vlad. So even if he signs a 4 or 5 year deal here, he's not even going to be 30 by the time that's over. So it's all good. Whatever. I mean, at least they really needed him too. AEW desperately needed him. They need him back. Yeah. If they don't have him back, this company is like dying, on the verge of dying. But okay.
I completely agree.
Anyways, I'm gonna move on to. I might have a couple results here before I get the rest of them from Vlad. The return of Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson returned during the Bullet Club Gold match.
Juice Robinson, where did he come from? What the hell? Juice is back.
Juice's charisma has been sorely missed by AEW. So they get MJF back and they get Juice Robinson back in one night. So that's
nice.
That's pretty nice. Okay, that's a bit of a positive at least. But okay, Bullet Club Gold keep the trios titles. Serena Deeb and Mariah May. Toni Storm ended up keeping the title, but there was a moment where Mariah May was going to throw in the towel, but she almost threw in the towel. It would have cost Toni Storm, but this had a pretty crazy finishing move. What is Toni Storm's finishing move called? It's called the Storm Zero, right, or something like that. The one where she pile drives her. So I think it's called the Storm Zero, but she does a version of it off the top rope here to finish Serena Deeb off. Yeah, falls on her butt, or from the second rope. Okay, still pretty good. And then gives her another one to win the match. So this was one where I was unsure of the booking, although Vlad seemed sure that Toni Storm was going to keep the title. But I mean, maybe some issues with Serena Deeb's promos. Some say she's not quite ready. But okay, Toni Storm is still the champion. Man, the last match I got any clips for, after this we'll just read the rest of the results. But the last match I have any clips for is the triple threat between Hook and Shibata and Chris Jericho for the FTW title. And some masked man comes in and attacks Shibata and Hook during the double submission move that they were going to tap out Chris Jericho. And some masked man comes in and clears the ring. And wouldn't you know it, Vlad, it's the bounty hunter, Brian Keith.
What? What is it? Why did he? What? Okay.
He's a bounty hunter. He gets paid. But anyways, Chris Jericho hits Hook with the Judas
Effect. He's an actual bounty hunter?
No, that's his gimmick. It's his gimmick. That's his name.
Oh boy, I need a gimmick after watching some of this. Oh boy.
So Chris Jericho hits the Judas Effect on Hook, and Chris Jericho remains FTW champion. All right, that's all I got, Vlad. After that, my time ran out and we had to start the show, so I didn't watch any of the rest of it. But can you give us any results? Do you want to do that for us?
Sure. So after that, it was Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. Who do you guys think won?
I mean, it was an eliminator match. I think Takeshita won the eliminator match.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but no, Moxley won. So
okay.
Sorry, I should have waited for Robert to give his prediction on who won. But all right. Okay, so then we had Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black for the TNT title in a what is it, barbed wire steel cage match.
I didn't see any of this.
I didn't either, obviously. So
I think Edge
what do you?
For sure.
Yeah, same thing.
Yes, you are both right.
All right.
Okay. Then we had Well, I think we already discussed. Well, you told us the Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes TBS title match. So I don't think we found out.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
You did. We did.
I did.
Before we started recording.
Before the recording. I'm sorry, but yes, Mercedes won the match, and then you told us that what's her name, or Stokely and Statlander turned their back on.
Yeah, well,
Willow.
Stokely was on the apron while Willow had a chance to win, and for some reason distracting the ref, and I guess they kind of screwed up. It was a little weird. And then after the match, when Mercedes won the TBS title, Stokely and Statlander turned on Willow. So I don't know. I don't know what that's going to lead to. All right. After that, it was probably, was it Swerve and Christian after that?
Correct. Who do you think won?
I would say Swerve.
Swerve for sure, man.
Yeah, Swerve. So Swerve is still the champion.
So that means AEW thought the real main event of this show was fucking Anarchy in the arena. Oh, that should have started.
The main event was Team Elite versus Team AEW.
God,
Team Elite, of course, we know Jack Perry, Okada, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin, who could survive pretty much anything, getting hit by a bus. So who do you think won this shenanigans?
I don't care, but I think Team AEW won.
I choose Elite.
Robert is correct. Team Elite for the victory.
Oh my god. Well, I guess we'll be interested. I'll watch that later to see how that ended, to see if they got heat. I guess, quote unquote heat, although they don't really get heat because their acting is so fake, the Young Bucks and everything. I think a lot of people are just dismissive of this whole thing. I am dismissive of this angle. I'm not digging it, but
it was the main event of this.
It was the main event. Okay, so Swerve. The main points we take away is Swerve won the championship. He could be retained. Mercedes Moné won the TBS championship. They sure made a big deal out of that for the freaking TV title. Toni Storm kept the women's title, and Bullet Club Gold kept the trios title. I guess that's it, right? Oh, and Ospreay is the international champion now.
Yeah, and of course, return of MJF.
The return of MJF and the return of Juice Robinson. Okay.
Oh, Juice Robinson, yeah. Right. I like both of those returns.
I guess, yes. Some of this was okay. Some of it, like, I like Christian. I don't like that he's in a feud where we know for sure he's going to lose. You know, kind of like the way they use AJ Styles against Cody. I'm like, okay, it's good that he's in that match, but we know he's going to lose. So, you know, I don't know. That takes away from it a little bit. But other than that, Anarchy and Arena I had no interest in. And everything else, I think, was probably just okay. So that's all I got. Vlad, what do you want to say? The floor is yours. Any
I just want to
thoughts?
say, I'm reading this, and you know, I didn't see the show, so I don't know if this was good or bad or whatever. But I just thought this was kind of funny. When it says here, when Justin Roberts made the introductions for the Anarchy and the Arena match, he said, "Welcome to the shit show." Which I thought was pretty hilarious, because isn't that all of AEW?
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
That's pretty accurate of their whole they got going, but okay, pretty funny. But anyways, that's all I got for AEW.
Well, it's late. I know Robert is off tomorrow, but are you off tomorrow, Vlad, or no?
I am, thankfully, yes. or else right. This would be very much harder to still be doing at this point if I wasn't.
Yeah, I know. Well, usually we like to do shorter shows, but this was a longer one. There was 2 freaking pay-per-views this week. So, whatever. I think we pretty much discussed everything, unless there's something you guys think that I missed.
No, I think we covered it all. Covered everything that was important, for sure.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. We're at 214 subscribers as we speak. Anybody listening to this deep into the show, man, you better be a subscriber. We need that subscription. We're trying to get to 1,000 so we can get some money. Okay? We're not just in this for the love of wrestling. We're in this for the money. Okay? As Scott Hall would say. No, but we actually are in this just for the love of wrestling. We literally don't get a penny off this, and we don't get any love. People should leave some comments, man. Leave some nice
only get
comments,
hate.
for fuck's sake. We only get hate.
Right.
Everyone's fucking criticizing our show. We're trying to entertain you guys, man. Give you something to listen to. I always say if you're a security guard, you're listening to podcasts all day or something, this would be good. Just leave it on. Listen to us banter about wrestling. But yeah, thank you for subscribing. Anyone out there who's a subscriber, thank you for listening. Join us on social media. I've been trying to post over there more on TikTok and stuff, on Instagram and on X. I know there's a lot of people posting over there, but I'm trying my best to keep up with it. But all right, guys, well, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. This was a good episode, I thought. Good energy. We've stepped up our game for that motherfucker who said that we suck.
Yeah, you suck.
That piece of shit motherfucker.
See, I'm not saying all that, but he can rot in hell for all I care.
Well, we can call him a piece of shit because he doesn't even fucking say who he is. So fuck, I'll just say he's a piece of shit because he's talking shit anonymously. So fuck you.
You tell him.
Anyways,
You tell him.
I can say that. I know you guys have more professional jobs than I do, but I don't care.
Well,
all right, guys. For the wrestling expert, Vlad, for the Frozen Asian, Robert, this has been the Malapert Smark podcast. That's me, the Malapert Smark. I'm Kayhan. I'm your host. We hope you'll join us in future podcasts. And stick with us, man. We're talking the wrestling. You know you love the wrestling. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.